Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for February 19, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the global landscape is shifting rapidly, with developments in Peru, Japan, and the Middle East making headlines. In Peru, the impeachment of President Jair has created uncertainty about the country's future leadership, while in Japan, Prime Minister Takaichi has announced plans to invest $36 billion in U.S.-based projects as part of a trade deal. Secondly, the U.S. President's Board of Peace is convening its inaugural meeting in Washington today, with representatives from dozens of countries in attendance. The gathering aims to discuss the status of Trump's peace plan for the Gaza Strip and explore the board's potential to address global conflicts. However, many are questioning the effectiveness of the initiative, and the absence of major historic allies such as France and Canada has raised concerns about the board's impact. Lastly, tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to escalate, with the threat of a potential strike looming large. The Trump administration is weighing its options, including a possible military operation against Iran's nuclear facilities, while diplomatic efforts are underway in Geneva. The international community is urging restraint and calling for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. These stories and more will be covered in depth on our website and future podcasts. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. Firstly, the U.S. government's plan to launch Freedom.gov has sparked a global debate on free speech and online censorship. The initiative aims to promote American values of freedom of expression, but critics argue it may be used as a tool for propaganda and misinformation. We invite our listeners to join the conversation and share their thoughts on this sensitive topic. In other news, a significant brain drain has hit the U.S. Justice Department, with numerous high-profile prosecutors leaving their positions due to controversy and dissatisfaction with the Trump administration's policies. Many of these experienced attorneys have gone on to launch new law firms, non-profit organizations, and even political campaigns, raising concerns about the loss of institutional knowledge and expertise. Lastly, the Gaza reconstruction efforts are at a critical juncture, with Hamas's willingness to disarm being a crucial factor in the success of President Trump's peace plan. The international community is watching closely as the new Board of Peace prepares to meet in Washington, with the potential establishment of an international stabilization force and the transfer of power hanging in the balance. These are just a few of the stories we're following at the AIDailyPress. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. First, foreign investors are showing renewed interest in India's steel sector, with at least 10 companies preparing to raise funds through initial public offerings over the next year. This surge is driven by improving demand visibility and support of government policies, including the production-linked incentive scheme. Second, Fortuna Mining Corp., a Canadian precious metals mining company, will discuss its mixed financial and operational results on Thursday's conference call. While some mines saw lower-than-expected production due to lower ore grades, others reported strong results, with silver production meeting guidance and lead and zinc production exceeding expectations. Lastly, in a surprising turn of events, foreign investors have been buying Indian stocks at the fastest pace in 6 months, pouring in over $2 billion into the market so far this month. This influx is attributed to the country's growth prospects, driven by its large consumer market and infrastructure development plans. For a more in-depth analysis of these stories and other market news, please tune in to our full podcast or visit our website at AIDailyPress.com. And now, let me hand it over to our expert analyst, who will provide you with a detailed look at the Indian steel sector and its growth prospects. Stay informed and happy investing. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we're exploring the mysteries of the universe in our Cosmic Perspective series. We've been discussing the latest developments in space exploration, including a new moon race between the United States and China to harness water ice from the lunar surface. This resource could revolutionize space travel by enabling longer missions and providing a vital pit stop for spacecraft. In another breakthrough, scientists at the University of Zurich have made a groundbreaking discovery about kidney disease. Their research reveals a critical link between tubular metabolism and fibrosis, identifying pyrimidinergic calcium signaling as a key player in regulating metabolic pathways in the kidneys. This finding has significant implications for the development of new treatments and improved patient outcomes. Lastly, we're looking up at the stars and wondering about the wonders that lie beyond our small blue planet. From the lunar South Pole to the vast expanse of space, human curiosity and innovation are driving us forward. Tune into our podcast for more in-depth discussions on these topics and stay updated on the latest news and discoveries. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we pay tribute to the legacy of sports as we reflect on the passing of a legend, although not explicitly mentioned in our recent articles. It's essential to acknowledge the impact that iconic figures have on their respective sports. Moving on to our featured. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Corral.
Thank you, Howard. We started with a report on an explosion in Portugal, but then shifted gears to explore the vibrant cultural scene in Sydney, Australia, where we visited Café Nho, a charming Vietnamese cafe that's preserving traditional recipes and cooking methods while innovating for a diverse clientele. Next, we traveled across the Atlantic to Mexico, where Portugal has returned 3 pre-Columbian artifacts, marking a significant gesture of goodwill and international cooperation in the fight against cultural trafficking. These exquisite pieces, dating back to distinct pre-Hispanic periods and cultures, have been recovered after being unlawfully acquired by Portuguese collectors. These stories highlight the importance of preserving our cultural heritage, respecting traditions, and promoting international cooperation. From the streets of Cabramatta to the ancient civilizations of Mexico, we're reminded that our shared human experience is rich in diversity and beauty. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we're remembering the talented Peter Green, who left us far too soon. We'll be keeping an eye on newcomer Northwest's rising music career as she navigates the ever-evolving entertainment industry. Next, Oscar-nominated actress Amy Madigan is speaking out about sexism in the film industry and her latest nomination for her role in a horror film. Her candid interview sheds light on the challenges women face in Hollywood and her thoughts on current events. And finally, in the art world, Turner Prize-winning artist Tai Shani has terminated her book deal with Phaidon due to the company's connection to billionaire art collector Leon Black, who has been linked to Jeffrey Epstein. We'll be following this story closely as it highlights the importance of accountability and integrity in the art world. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, in Western Australia, the proposed development of a mining project has raised concerns among local communities and conservationists, who fear it may threaten the region's unique biodiversity and water sources. Secondly, in India, the birth of 3 African cheetah cubs represents a significant milestone in the country's historic conservation effort to reintroduce the species, which was declared extinct in 1952. This achievement underscores the importance of perseverance and collaboration in wildlife conservation. Lastly, in Nevada, the golden eagle population is facing a decline of approximately 10% since 2010 due to environmental and anthropogenic factors such as wildfires, droughts, power line collisions, lead pollution, and scarcity of prey. Researchers are working tirelessly to track the movements and behavior of these majestic creatures, providing valuable insights into their lives and habitats. These stories serve as poignant reminders of the importance of responsible land use planning, conservation efforts, and continued research into the complex relationships between human activities and wildlife populations. By supporting sustainable practices and funding research initiatives, we can work towards mitigating the effects of environmental stresses on our planet's precious wildlife and preserving their place in our ecosystems for generations to come. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.